Hello and welcome to Viewpoint on Ukraine Today. My name is Tamara Rosovan, and today I'm joined by Mr. Boguslav Pacek, a NATO advisor for reforms on Ukraine's military education system. Welcome to Viewpoint.
Nice to meet you.
I understand that you lead the Defense Educational Enhancement Program between Ukraine and NATO. Can you talk about what has been achieved over the past year and what you plan to achieve?
We have started to work here 3 years ago. It was after the letter of Ukrainian Minister of Defense asked to receive from NATO countries some support before the reform of the military education system. 3 years, it's a lot from one side, and on the other side, maybe it's not enough time to prepare everything. We have covered all country, means all academies, all universities, everything what exists in Ukraine, from Lviv, Kharkov, earlier Sevastopol, nowadays Odessa, and of course Kiev. 3 years means many hundred meetings, briefings, lectures, lessons, visits in many countries in Europe, and we have started from the very simple lesson we presented to Ukrainian colleagues, professors, generals, colonels from military universities, academies. We presented different systems which exist in the West, in NATO countries.
So by NATO standards, you're trying to
NATO standards, of course, NATO standards means some procedures, doctrine, procedures, some concepts, and of course from the beginning it was very clear that Ukraine needs to build own system, not exactly US or Polish or Canadian or British, for example.
But Ukraine has been aiming to improve its military capabilities and military education up to Western standards, which means NATO standards.
Yes, NATO standards means to achieve something what is common for the NATO countries. We have in NATO countries different systems. Of course, each country has something what we call their own system, but we have some common issues, common capabilities, common procedures. If we want to defend in the future our countries, maybe we have to be prepared to work together, maybe to fight together. This is why I speak and we present common procedures, common language, of course, which is English. I'm from Poland, I'm Polish, professor, Polish general, and of course we understand that the common language in NATO is, first language is English.
What's your assessment of the Ukrainian military education system? After traveling to so many cities and listening to what is still needed to be done?
It's different. From the beginning, our first assessment was that you have many bodies, many universities, many academies, and from our perspective it was maybe surprise. But step by step, we have achieved a lot, and first was the consolidation. Nowadays we work in Lviv. This is the special academy, National Academy for Land Forces, very high level, good level, and very close to the NATO standards. We work in Kharkov, when you have the Air University, Ukraine has the Air University. We work in Odessa, when, of course, Ukraine has a big problem after big drama in Sevastopol. And now we support, we choose 2 countries, Poland and Bulgaria, with some support from France, of some other countries, and we try to support Odessa to build a special military institute, which will be soon, I believe, ready to prepare candidates for your Navy.
You say support. Do you mean military training and some of those?
Support, from the beginning, it was accepted by both sides, Ukrainian side and NATO side, that we covered some areas, faculty development, curriculum development, advanced distributed learning is very important to achieve something what is possible to use a big distance to learn from Poland, to teach from Poland, from France, maybe from US, and to improve English skills also. Last time we started also to work with NCOs. It's a new area, and nowadays we have free courses for instructors of NCOs from Ukraine.
Courses of what?
In Poland, in Lithuania, and in Canada. It's
Sorry,
beginning.
courses of what? What will they be
Courses
learning?
of methodology, of teaching process, or for instructors who are responsible of teaching in Ukraine.
What about some of these? I read that the Defense Education Enhancement Program includes teaching some of the Ukrainian military men modern warfare, high-tech defense, cyber defense, special operation, battlefield reconnaissance. So these are quite specific areas of military programs. How has that been going?
Not everything is easy. From the beginning, it was very clear that Ukraine has a special and very difficult time. It's not typical program. If we have program in Azerbaijan or Armenia or Serbia or some other country, it's much easier because they have peacetime. Here, Ukraine expects something different because it was the wartime. And the problem is how to teach, how to work, how to cooperate when the priority is, of course, to defense country. Because it was very difficult to achieve the same time when people were sent for the East to achieve the priority of the education.
But wouldn't it be easier if you have some of these men who've already seen the war up close?
Yes.
And who've come back from the Donbass and who've actually fought?
Yes, yes. We have to respect. We have to respect the situation in Ukraine. And of course, we work and we try to listen to Ukrainian colleagues. To be very frank, I would like to say that we are not involved as a deep program in the situation in the East, because we work as experts of the education. We are not experts of typical the war situation.
So not exactly training.
Yes, yes. Not training, mostly education.
So how would you incorporate some of the military experience that some of these soldiers have received from the Eastern, from the war in the East?
Yes, it's very
How do you
good,
incorporate that in your programs?
It's a very good question, because finally we have something what we didn't expect. Because, of course, everybody expects that we are going to give something, to share our knowledge, our experience. And finally, this is the reason why I am here today. We try to receive also this experience from this conflict, from this crisis. This is why we have nowadays meetings with officers, with soldiers also, with Ukrainian experts, and we try to prepare a white book, special lessons learned, which I believe is very important, not only for Ukrainian. These lessons learned will be important for all NATO countries.
What new defense initiatives are being introduced this month or in the upcoming weeks?
Yes, it's very important time. Yesterday we had a very important meeting with Acting Minister of Defense, Mr. Ivan Rusnak, and he informed me about this decision which will come soon. And of course, this is the proper time, because we work here 3 years. We presented everything what was possible. We gave everything what was possible from our side. And now it's time for the decision for the nationalities of Ukraine. And after that, we are going to continue our program, but very carefully, according to some guidance and according to the doctrine, according to the decision of Ukraine, which I believe very soon will be well known and very clear for everybody.
Looking into the future, what steps does the Ukrainian government need to take now, given your reports, to improve the military education system here?
We have prepared a special advice after some years. It was 10 experts from Ukrainian side and 10 experts from NATO side. And we worked many days having all documents, having all our experience. And we, both sides, we prepared recommendations, written recommendations. It's a long document with all areas connected with the military education. And yesterday, Minister Rusnak said that he appreciates very much, and Ukrainian side, Ukrainian government appreciates very much these recommendations. And our recommendations will be useful for the Ukrainian decision.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I found it quite interesting, the kind of report that you've given about the military education system.
Thank you very much. I wish all the best to Ukraine. Ukraine is an important country for NATO, especially for neighbors. I am from Poland. This is why my heart, after 3 years, is a little bit Ukrainian also.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This has been Mr. Boguslav Pacek, a NATO advisor for reforms of Ukraine's military education system. You've been watching Viewpoint on Ukraine Today.